Hitting a target at a 2-mile distance is the current holy grail in the gun world. But in the king of 2-mile shooting competition, the distance only comes to those who survive a grueling qualifying round that separates the best from the rest. So far, only 6 have succeeded, and day 2 of qualifying kicks off next. Welcome to the King of 2 Miles, presented by Night Force Optics, coming to you from the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ted Jones. Joining me for today's coverage will be our expert analyst, Paul Phillips. Let's take a look at who has qualified in our first 6 weeks of coverage. Not necessarily in point order, but in the order in which they qualified. The first guy to make it was Dan Polabel. Then our own Paul Phillips got into the action right there with over 39,000 points. Then the third week of coverage, we had Mitchell Fitzpatrick. He also came in at 37,000 points. Now, the points scored depends on how many rounds they hit at each target. We'll have more on that later in the show. Garrett Fravert also qualified. That was in week number 4. Then in week number 5, this guy, Ronnie Wright. He had the lowest score so far at only 28,410 points, but he is into the finals. Then finally, last week, Duncan Davis made it in with a score of just over 35,000 points. So only 6 are in so far. The point leader, Garrett Fravert, with 39,611. Now let's take a look at the qualifying day format. There are 4 targets. On the first target, you get 5 shots. Then only 3 shots on the next 3 targets. There are points scored for each hit. The targets, well, target number 1 is about 1,550 yards. By the way, the first 2 targets are 2 feet by 37 inches. Target 2 is almost a mile at 1,715 yards. Target 3 is over a mile, just over 1,890 yards. And finally, the furthest target is target 4. Those last 2 targets are 30 inches by 37 inches. Our first shooter comes to us from Kingwood, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Barry Hamilton. Now, you see the spotter crouched down beside him. We don't normally see that. That's David Griffith.
Come down.
And the first shot looks like it's a miss.
2 minutes.
Yeah, that was over the top. They just came down, they saw the spot, and they're making a correction. Notice those big bullets he's got. Those are 416 improved cartridge.
Same wind hold.
477 cutting edge bullets.
I'm aiming in the middle. Impact. Impact. Repeat.
Come down was correct.
Yep, they came down, just hit the bottom edge of the plate, and they're going to roll this to see how they do.
Looks like he scooted his weapon just a little bit forward there. I don't know if that was intentional, but didn't bother him. Another hit, Paul.
Yeah, you're in. Let's see.
Yeah, that was only about 3 inches from the last shot. He's doing very well here. He's getting his position consistent.
Impact.
And what you can see, his third shot was only a couple inches from the last one. So those last 3 shots were only 4 or 5 inches in diameter, group size. He's doing very well here. Another shot, look at that.
Okay.
4 out of 5. Now that'll get you a lot of points, right?
Yeah, he just racked up a lot of points right there. Let's see how they do when they transfer to the mile plate.
Ready?
Now this is target number 2, a different target.
You ready? Yeah. Spotter up. I'm trying to. Ready. Yeah. Oh, shit. No. Come up 1 minute. You're in.
Missed a little bit low there, maybe only about 2 feet low. The spotter saw it. They're going to make a correction. We'll see how they do.
He told him to come up 1 minute.
1 minute of angle at that distance is approximately 20 inches. Looks like they just went over the top.
That was really high.
Looks like they overcorrected on that one.
That was 2 minutes
That
high.
went too high. This is the third and final shot. You only get 3 on target number 2. If he misses, he'll be out of competition.
Yeah, again, ballistics are so important here. You know, you really have to know what your elevation zeros are.
And unfortunately, another miss.
That was just underneath it.
So Barry will be out. He missed target 2-3 times. Look at that. He hit target 1 4 times. We caught up with him and asked him, what happened?
We put in some windage to start, not enough, but we changed the sight settings and the elevations.
Take a pause from the action now. By the way, the legendary Santa Fe Trail runs right through the middle of the NRA Whittington Center. And there we'll find the Frank Brownell Museum and this week's high caliber collection.
We talked about the beginning of what we call modern firearms when we talked about the matchlock. This is the next evolution in what we call modern firearms. And this is called a wheel lock. Did away with the burning and smoldering rope. You put a key on here and you actually wound it up like you do a clock. And then when you actually pull the trigger, there's a wheel internal that would spin, creating a spark and igniting the gunpowder. It was definitely a big step up from the matchlock, but the problem with it was a very intricate mechanism and it was really prone to breakage. This gun dates back to about the 1630s. So again, you can tell even in those early days, when they didn't have modern machinery, the work that they were capable of. This is an extremely fine-looking firearm.
Thanks to Robbie Roberts, we always enjoy his featured guns. We're going to take a break, but coming up next, our next shooter will be Tim Sellers. Stay tuned for more King of 2 Miles.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Burger Bullets, the highest levels of precision. Bardline Barrels, cutting edge of barrel technology. And by McMillan Fiberglass Stocks, molding the way America shoots.
Welcome back to the NRA Whittington Center in Raton, New Mexico, and the King of 2 Miles competition presented this week by Night Force Optics. Let's meet our next shooter coming up. This is Tim Sellers from Richland Hills, Texas, and he has a Night Force sticker. See it right there on the side of the rifle? Let's find out more about that.
The Night Force scope has been on the last 2 World Championships for the U.S. Rifle Team, where we won gold. It's also been on the scope of the King of 2 Mile last year that won the event. Can you tell us a little bit more about the scope and what you guys got going on?
Yeah, Paul. So basically, Night Force has been building scopes for long-range competitive shooting for a long time. We build scopes for a little bit of all types of disciplines of competition, as well as long-range hunting now. And in our competition series, we've got things in the F-class disciplines, our competition 15 to 55 that's done real well with setting records. In the LR, we've developed this 7 to 35, which has 100 minutes of elevation travel, which is kind of unprecedented in a 35 power scope. So even if it wasn't necessarily designed specifically for ELR, it kind of fits the bill really well for that. The type of adjustments that you guys need for shooting long range, you need accuracy. You need to be able to repeat back to zero. You're dialing turrets going to several different yardages way out to the extreme of 2 miles now. You need to have that repeatability.
You're also involved in military and law enforcement. Can you tell me about that?
SWAT teams all across the United States and the law enforcement community utilize Night Force scopes for quite a few years now. We're not really in infantry currently, but we're very proud to say that we build rifle scopes that help our boys overseas come home safe. Night Force has been about precision optics for a long time. Our slogan, rugged, reliable, repeatable, we kind of live that.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. We asked Tim Sellers, how did you get into the sport?
Probably like everybody else, I was hunting when I was very young, and we started shooting further and further out, and pretty soon my hunting guns were being torn down and turned into target guns. And as we got progressively further and further, it seemed to get funner and funner and funner.
Should have gave him 6.
Paul, there's a funny looking thing hanging down below the Night Force decal. What is that?
Well, that's actually something that he's been working with. It's for vibration control.
Impact. Good hold, Tim.
Well, he's got a hit on the first shot right there.
Tim's experience comes from 1,000-yard bench rest matches. This rifle is using today is a 338 Edge.
Dropped over the top.
And that was a miss, which is unusual because he hit on the first shot. So something has changed. They're going to correct again, see if they can get him back on target. No, another miss.
Yeah, that was just off to the right. A little bit of wind gust there. One of the difficult things with having a different caliber on the same team is that the flight time and the trajectories are different. So for the spotters, it's very difficult.
And yet another miss on shot number 4. Now he has hit the first shot, so he'll get to go on to the next target, but he needs points. And the fifth shot is successful, so he gets 2 out of 5. Let's take a look at exactly what happened. Shots 1 and 5 hit way over to the left, but the misses, Paul?
Looks like they had a little bit of a let off, and they had 1 shot over the top and 2 off to the right side of the plate.
Left. I added 2.
Here we go to target number 2 with Tim Sellers. And it looks like a miss way off.
Yeah, that was off to the right.
See that? Yeah. 2 more left. You got it. Plates.
So you heard the spotter tell him to bring it left.
Yeah, that hit about 4 to 5 feet off to the right. We'll see how they adjust on this one.
Must have went right over the top of it.
And they went over the top on shot number 2. Now remember, he only gets 3 shots. No pressure here. If he misses this, he's out of competition.
Yeah, that's one disadvantage with the smaller caliber. It's hard to see those impacts.
Well, the point is he had no hits on target 2, so he's out of competition. And we asked him, does the time of day you shoot really matter?
You generally assume the winds are going to be down early in the morning, and we thought we would have that chance. And well, they picked up before we got up, and we were really on our trajectories, on our calculations. We were right there. And the cold bore shot was just a foot right, which is a good indicator we're very close to our calculations. And all the wind just kind of pitched us, and when we got to the second target, unfortunately we couldn't see the misses.
We'll take a break from the action. When we come back, you'll meet this man, our next shooter, Andrew Shaver. Stay with us for more King of 2 Miles. Welcome back to the King of 2 Miles shooting competition presented by Night Force Optics. Ted Jones, Mike Side with you, joined by our expert analyst, Paul Phillips. Let's meet our next shooter, Andrew Shaver from the Show Me State, Kearney, Missouri.
Yeah, Andrew is shooting a 375. He's coming from the Manners company. They're very well versed in accuracy. As you can see, that first shot, he nailed the plate almost center mass.
Paul, it looks like he's having a problem reloading the rifle.
Yeah, it looks like he's what we call it a sticky bolt, which means that he probably has a little bit too much powder in his cases, which is causing pressure issue. When we do load development, we like to load our velocities so that, we don't have that sticky bolt.
Well, 2 hits right now, so the sticky bolt's not causing him any problem in hitting the target.
Impact!
There's a 3rd hit.
Absolutely, the accuracy's there. He's putting rounds on target. Hopefully this doesn't come to bite him.
Yes, 3 shots, 2 more.
He has a weapons malfunction because of sticky bolt. It could end his day, but he's rolling them right now. He's looking good.
4 in a row, rolling up those points.
Last one, number 5.
Yeah, he's on the edge probably for his velocity.
High.
That would feel good.
Wow, a miss, unfortunately. So let's take a look. Well, 4 hits, which is pretty incredible. Most of them right in the middle, but that 1 miss was way up high. So we go to target number 2 now. Further away, only 3 rounds.
That's high, so.
You had a lot of question about how far that bullet goes above the target line of sight. It's called max ordnance. And what that means is how far the bullet travels the maximum distance above the ground before it comes back. Now the distance he's shooting right now, it's about 30 feet. 30 feet above that target before it comes back down.
That's incredible. He did hit those, so he will get to move to target 3. Here he goes with the 3rd shot.
Also they talk about time of flight. That's about 2.5 seconds at a mile.
That's incredible. A little bit low with that 3rd shot. So here's how he's doing so far. Incredible with target 1, 4 out of 5. Target 2, just one hit, but that's all he needs to do this. Go on to target number 3.
1 mil left.
Yeah, this is where it gets really critical. You know, you're stretching the distance out. The spotters have to be cognizant of the time of flight. And, well, it looks like he thought he had an impact there, but it's actually just a dust cloud from the rock.
Yeah, it was close, though. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, he's dialed in here. He was close. Hopefully they can make adjustment here and make impact.
Having no problem reloading now, by the way.
Do their reloading process. Could be just a couple rounds that are a little bit bigger that's stuck in his bolt.
Yeah, 1.6. 1.6. 1.6.
Third and final shot in order to stay in competition. No, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was good elevation just off to the left. Unfortunately, that's 3 misses, so he's out.
Yes, and he did so well on target 1. We caught up with him and asked him what happened with that reloading process.
I don't know if that was a high pressure case or something that might have had a little too much powder or something, but I've never had that happen with that gun, so I don't know what exactly that was.
Time for another break. When we return to King of 2 Miles, we'll meet our next shooter. His name, Doc Beach. Stay with us.
King of 2 Miles is being brought to you by Lone Star Field Products, the world's most precise rifle rest. Applied Ballistics LLC, the science of accuracy. And by Stiller's Actions, building the highest precision custom rifle actions in the world today.
You're watching from the NRA Whittington Center, King of 2 Miles competition, presented this week by Night Force Optics. Let's meet our next shooter. This gentleman is Doc Beach. Now, he works for Applied Ballistics, so we asked Doc, what exactly is your job with Applied Ballistics?
I'm a shooter and a technical engineer. I manage the technology, the ballistic calculators, the Kestrels, the Garmins, the kilos, anything that's got a brain in it. I like being a shooter and I like working with the technology, but the whole team aspect is really what's the most fun about it, because when it's rolling and all working together, it makes a huge difference on your success rate.
So one might think that he has a little bit of an advantage being a technical engineer for Applied Ballistics. Well, that remains to be seen. Here he is, folks, ready to go after target number 1. And guess who's spotting up there? Yeah, we know that guy, Paul Phillips, our expert analyst.
Looks good.
And he has a miss.
Come up 1 minute on your knob.
Now, you heard Paul tell him to come up 1 minute. That's going to be about 15 inches at this particular distance. Well, he's having a problem there. He's going to have to try and adjust the weapon. He sent Paul back to get a rod to try and get the cartridge to come out, the shell casing. There it came out. You saw it drop out on the ground. Now he has to readjust the rifle because he's got it all out of kilter the way he had it.
Right, Doc. I gotta readjust everything.
He'll be ready. This will be shot number 2.
All right, same wind?
Yeah, center mass.
Center mass.
Little left.
And another miss.
I can't tell these what was going on.
A little low. Paul talking to the windage coach.
I don't know.
He's still having a problem right there.
What's going on, Doc?
Getting the gun to reload, actually unload first, trying to get that spent shell casing out of there.
It's not feeding.
You got it out.
Is it not flipping over the
Yeah, it's not feeding. Look what's going on. They're coming out.
They're examining the next round. See what the problem is.
I have to back off.
You call it DNF?
Yeah.
Okay.
DNF?
Walter, we're stopping. This ammunition is not safe. All the primers are coming off twisted. Okay. It's okay for you? You want to keep going? Try it out.
Can I load the other box?
Can we go?
He's asking permission to use another box of ammo. That particular box has been considered not safe. So he's changing ammunition, going to the other box.
Top of plate, center mass.
Hey,
All right.
left edge of plate for wind, Doc. It's picked up.
Got it.
Top left corner.
You heard the coach tell him what to do, and looks like he's a little bit low on that. The third shot, he's got 2 more remaining.
He needs to come up.
Is it good? Yeah. Come up a minute of angle on your knob.
Come up a minute.
Yeah.
Left edge.
Left edge.
Left edge.
Paul's telling him come up about 1 minute. Makes the adjustment. Shot number 4. Once again, he misses. Now the pressure's on. Last shot is 5.
He went over the top.
And left side.
Yeah, hold bottom right-hand corner.
Bottom right-hand corner.
Paul's telling him to aim at the bottom right-hand corner. Hopefully the shell will get up in the middle at that point. And 1 more miss. So we take a look at the target right here. You can see all 5 misses right there. He was coming close, but he couldn't quite get it into the middle of the target.
I had a bit of an ammunition malfunction. We had some primers that came loose when chambering the rounds, and the ammunition became unsafe, so we had to call it. Because it's better to be safe and shoot another day than it is to force the issue and kill yourself.
So we had a little drama there with Doc Beach. Let's take a look at our 6 qualifiers one more time. And it looks like Garrett Fravert, this time we have him in order, is our points leader, 39,611. This is Ted Jones for Paul Phillips. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with more King of 2 Miles.